I'm on Queens Road in Jacksonville, where police say that a man barricaded himself in his home. I'm in Kinston at the corner of Dixon Street and Stroud Avenue, where police say that a man was shot. And as you can see, police are still on scene processing the area. And retail businesses are allowed to open at 50% capacity, but they're required to clean frequently. Being accepted to college is already a huge milestone. Being the first in your family to go to college is another big accomplishment. And then bar owners that I talked to said that they're just happy to be open at all. First off, as you can see, the rain is coming down a lot harder than it was even 20 minutes ago, and it's going to continue to come down hard as the night progresses. The ECU football stadium is just one of many outdoor venues that hasn't seen any fans in the stands all year long. This is the home of Pedro Del Santos and his family, which is about a block away from where the shooting happened. Communities across the East are preparing to return to school tomorrow, and while the classrooms won't be as full, buses are still hitting the road each morning. Fire officials call the amount of fire on the ground unprecedented, and the death toll is rising. Nearly 24 people missing at this hour. Yes, and I did check my phone. It is the 25th of October, okay. So just so we're clear for the rest of the evening, it is the 25th.
Yes, ma'am.
It was your typical Friday at the Food Lion on Turnberry Drive in Greenville.
You have a good one.
Maya White, a cashier at Food Lion, was doing her normal duties at work until...
Basically, had a customer that passed out on aisle number 8, and she was turning blue in the face, and she wasn't breathing. She didn't have a pulse.
An announcement came over the speakers urging anyone who knew CPR to please help. White, also a recent nursing school graduate from Pitt Community College, answered the call.
It took me a second to realize what was happening. I said, well, I'm certified, and nobody else said anything. And when she said they needed help on 8, my instinct was to just run.
At that point, Maya, one of my sales associates, rushed down the aisle, jumped down on her knees, and immediately started administering CPR to this young lady.
I checked for her pulse in her neck. She didn't have a pulse, or it was weak, and that's when I realized I needed to start CPR.
Maya White said she learned everything she knew from nursing school, but she was still
terrified because I told my coworkers it's one thing working on a dummy, but this is a live situation and you want to get it right.
Luckily, she was there to help this lady and save her life. It feels good as a manager knowing that I have a team here that I can trust when I'm not here at my store.
And because of this local hero,
there we are, have a good one.
A woman is alive.
Beyond grateful that she is okay. A very overwhelming but proud moment.
A man is alive, all thanks to the life-saving efforts of some guys who were at the right place at the right time.
Because if they weren't there, he probably wouldn't be here with us. The doctors keep telling us that the early CPR is basically why he's here. So we're honestly just very grateful.
What started as a normal night at the gym for 35-year-old Thomas Parker took a turn for the worse.
They heard a big crash and he had fallen face forward, and essentially they rolled him over. He wasn't breathing very well. They called 911.
Thomas's wife called him to see when he would be home, but instead of her husband answering,
someone from the emergency room answered the phone. He had gone into cardiac arrest and someone had started CPR at the gym, and that he was at the hospital.
17-year-old Noah Dembo had started CPR on Parker, and when others like Ryan Staten joined in to help,
I immediately hopped down. I started trying to check his pulse to see if it was still beating. It was really nerve-wracking because I had never seen somebody that blue before, and his eyes were kind of open at the time, and they were starting to slowly shut. And I immediately just thought, what do I need? What can I do right now to help him?
They ended up saving his life.
Words can't even describe how grateful I am that I have my husband and my children still have their daddy. He's everything to us, and I can't thank them enough.
Heather said her husband has a family history of heart problems, but he has always taken care of his body, so when she found out what happened, she was shocked. But what she's most grateful for today is...
they were all put there for a reason. They were there at the right place at the right time, and they all knew what to do.
I am extremely grateful that he is doing better. It makes me feel even better that Noah was able to help, Jake was able to help, Nick was able to help, and Brandon were able to help the best way they could throughout the whole process.